3 minutes.
Hey!
Whoops. Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
How are you, Trevor?
I'm good, thanks to you.
I'm having the pee taken out of me in that chat. 7 planets. I've been waiting all month for these 7 planets, and I've been out when there was clear skies, and I've been hyperlapsing with the Pocket 3. And tonight is the last night of all 7 planets.
Well,
and where am I?
It is.
I can see a black sky outside, and I'm stuck in here with used to.
Well, I'm looking out the window now. I'm at the window now. I can see 6 planets, but I can't see Uranus.
Oh my God, it's too early for that.
Tony, it took about 30 seconds for him to
There
load
you
the
go.
tone.
Load
You
it.
win.
Shall I go?
Go. Hang on a minute. Yeah, you can go.
It's been bad.
3 minutes.
Mickey Mouse says, I saw you.
Uranus,
I'm not going down that conversation. No. Anyway, how are you, Trevor?
I'm good, thanks. Are you guys all right?
Yeah, excellent.
Very well.
I hope
Friday!
everybody's watching as well as enjoying this, ready for the weekend and everything.
Well, I think what's happened is that there's been a frenzy of so much drone footage going live and stuff on variety of socials because we've had 2 amazing days and we've got 3 more amazing days. I was walking down a 6-mile walk to the end of the peninsula by Isle of Wight, and there was no wind. It was glorious sunshine, and the whole sea was like a mill pond. It was beautiful, and I've been filming since 5:30 in the morning. So I expect there's going to be a lot of people out there, a lot of people filming. So we're out tomorrow, and I'll be going out Sunday as well.
Sorry, I'm looking at them comments and I'm thinking, you're all supposed to be nice, polite people.
Hang on. I'm not in the comments.
You read that one.
I must admit, Tony does get the brunt of most of the jokes, I think, each week.
Yeah. Somebody has to take them. Yeah. But no. So when have you last flown, Trevor?
Last Thursday, Tony. Yeah, last Thursday at the old gasworks in Huddersfield, because they're just dismantling it as we speak, and there's not much left.
Yeah, I have, as we said just before we come on, I have one of those in Reading, and it was there for years and years. And when you come into certain parts of Reading, it's the first thing you see, so it is. And it's like you say, when it's all, is yours totally gone now?
Yeah, there's just the pretty much what you see from above ground is how deep they are below ground, including pretty deep water, which they use as a natural gas seal, you know. So, because I always wondered how do they keep the gas in, and it is actually water that they use as a seal. But yeah, all that outer cage is now gone now. It's just the whole.
So yeah, the downside is for planning permission, they've got to take off 3 meters of earth. And they then got to leave it for 2 years to do nothing before they can even put a brick down. So they take all the gasworks down, take all the frame down, but they can't start building straight away.
Oh, well, here's one for you. I don't know if you had the same issue up with yours as we had with ours. People complained. People put in planning applications. They didn't want them taking it down. They wanted it to stay there. And there was supposed to be flats built there, but they haven't been built. But it's still an amazing sight watching it being taken down.
Well, like I said off air as well, we had that lady from Switzerland many years ago who would actually convert the actual frames into a glass hotel, and it's quite it looked really nice. But obviously, you can't do that everywhere and all the time. But
no,
Trevor, Mickey Moo's asking you a question there.
What's that? Where's your helmet?
What's he asked?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey, hang on a minute. I'm getting as many as you, Tony.
Well, and you would never live it down. Here, mate.
To be honest with you, I was so tempted for that video to wear overalls and look like Bob the Builder or something like that. But I'd recently done some footage for an Arijit Singh concert over at the Co-op Live Arena in Manchester.
So again,
Arijit Singh, there was 20,000 people there for the Co-op Live Arena, and you have to, as a photographer or videographer, wear the hard hat and the high vis. So I'd already bought them. The only problem is I was embarrassed when I was over at the gasworks because everybody's there with filthy clothing. You know, you can clearly see they've done more than a day's work. And I did there with this spotless hard hat, spotless high vis, not done a day's work there at all. It looked hilarious. I stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, well, I saw Tony's jacket last year at the festival at the carnival, and it was still brand new. So,
do what?
Your high vis jacket looked like brand new still.
I have a garage full of those bloody things. To do with the jobs that I work in. Some of the jobs wear high vis because I go into the supermarkets out the back. I have to wear high vis out there. But we're going to go with the ones that don't show live. What are you doing out here? I'm just looking for a few free pizzas. I'm not sure this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Give it a go. Start at the beginning there, yeah? Rewind.
Yes. You'll have to explain what is going on here. I'm hoping this is going to work.
It looks even creepier with the jerky footage. Oh my word. Oh, I was oh dear. The things we do.
It also proves how good the Neo is as well.
Yeah, it is. I thought I'll just do it. I had planned to do a bit of a run when nobody was expecting it, and that's exactly what I did. And it just proves that the Neo and the Flip because I was just testing out the flip there, and they're quite close together, those trees. There's a couple of those shots where it gets pretty close to a couple of those trunks, but it managed to bypass it and get around it. But I was hoping that other drone pilots would actually follow suit and do something similar. So I think that'd be a nice thing that we could do some chase videos on one of the drone show lives, I think, in the future. It's an easy one for us all to do.
Absolutely. I mean, we did the Neo when it first came out at Arsenal, but not like that. We weren't running around Arsenal, but
don't do. I don't do running. Those days have gone long ago.
If I can, you can, Tony.
No, I can still run. The only time I run is when I see Karen coming down the road.
So, Trevor,
hang on a minute.
Hang on, Trevor. You see, you also looked at the flip as well, didn't you? And I looked at it, but I just don't see why you'd have a Neo and a flip at the same time. Tell me if I'm missing something here at all.
Well, at the moment, not a lot of difference, but I think the Neo does more than the flip at present. Now, DJI said that they're not going to do any FPV updates so that you can use goggles. So it does look likely that it's never going to be a FPV drone, which I was hoping it would, to be honest with you, but never mind. It is a really good follow me drone with better quality camera than the Neo, but the Neo is a little bit more versatile, i.e. you can just shove it in your pocket. I like the fact you can do the FPV, you can control it just like the flip on the phone and also with a controller. I absolutely love the Neo. I just wish the camera quality was just slightly better, but it's not unbearable. You know, I've done a few videos with it, and it's just so easy just to take with you, especially if you're out on your own in the middle of nowhere. It was easier to get the Neo up in the air than it is the flip.
Well, funny you say that. Today, when I went to the lighthouse at the end of that peninsula, I did actually get the Neo out because there was no wind and it was beautiful sunshine. I took the Neo out, put the goggles on, and I flew around the lighthouse itself. It was okay. It seemed okay. And tonight when I come back, I downloaded the footage from the Avata 2 and also the Neo. And looked at it. Obviously, the difference, as you can imagine, is the speed. The big difference. But there was quite a bit of difference in quality of picture as well. So
yeah.
But
which drone did you use for when you did the gas? I can't remember.
I used the Mini 3 Pro for that one, and then just at the end I did a little scene with the flip, so it was following me at the end. It was meant to be a longer video, to be honest with you, but I had arranged for an interview with one of the managers there, but it was away on holiday, so I had 1 day window because literally 2 days later there was no more gasworks, and also the weather for weeks has been awful. I just did as good as I could, to be honest with you, and I managed to capture them taking some of the pieces down, and you can see the person cutting it with the oxygen supply and everything, because you look above and you just see a person with a blowtorch, and that's all you think, you know. So there's a lot more goes involved into that. But they're up there in the high winds, freezing cold, ice, everything. Every day they was up there dismantling it. So they're real.
I sat there watching. Go, the crane driver. He's there. He's got to wait. Every single he blows cutting it, then he puts it down, then he lays it down, he goes back up, he then goes over the cherry picker like that. So it must be, you know, it's only well organized, but so time consuming though, and the manpower required for that every single bit.
Well, apparently that's the last one of the entire Northern Gas network, so there isn't another one. So I'm not going to get the chance probably to film another one, other than the ones that's been converted into something else, like you say.
Well, hopefully our viewers will jump on your channel and watch that video. It's a good video.
Yeah.
Isn't there some in Southampton?
There's loads.
There might be. There might be, but that's the Northern network.
That's below Watford, mate.
You go funny. Don't start Watford Gap tonight again. I'm going to change the subject totally.
Good.
John, you cost me money.
Oh, no.
Trevor, we went to Doodledore last weekend.
Fine
here. We'll be fine here.
Doodle? Where's Doodle? I heard Doodle before, mate.
I can't pronounce it. Doodledore. Oh, shut up. You know what I'm on about. My car.
Doodledore.
That one. My car's a company car. And I got an email today. 90 quid if I don't pay in 14 days, or 50 quid if I pay within 14 days. The blooming gates were locked. You don't even get into the car park. You have to park. It's in their land. But I've seen a few other people have had some. It is a con, but some other people have had tickets up there as well. Trevor, I get to ask this. I haven't asked this for a long time. One wish only. No rules, no worries. Where would you like to fly?
Oh. Well, if I'm going by all the videos that I've seen on throughout the drone show live, I must admit some of those videos over in Norway and Iceland, they look out of this world, don't they? They just put everything to shame. So they look pretty good. If I'm honest with you, they're probably one of the best ones, with the volcanoes and some of those stunning scenes with the waterfalls leading off to the sea. I mean, out of this world.
Waterfall. You got a waterfall up your area?
We've got a few. I never realized we even had any until I got a drone. And then literally, I think every town, people should have a little look and Google it, because you'll probably find there's really nice picturesque places that you probably didn't even know existed. And also, Tony, going back to parking, anybody that doesn't have a drone and gets to watch any of our channels, they probably don't realize just how much money we spent on parking to actually then go off and actually video the places that we do for everybody else to enjoy.
Today being an example, because Bournemouth Council, wherever, the two piers, between the piers, at the carnival, everywhere, it was like £4 here, £2, like bloody hell. But Tony, who said? Tony, question for you, mate. Who was it that said? Was it you or Matt when we were at Doodle Door? About now we realise we actually appreciate our local towns, and you're driving around, you're looking, going, oh, actually, look at that, I could film that. Because before you just drive on the motorway like that, you know what I mean? You know, we saw a couple of videos recently of the one in Taunton. You know, I drove past that for 15 years, but now you know it's there. You go, I'm going to film that, and there's so many things you've driven past that you go, oh, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Yeah, but beforehand, you wouldn't thought about it before you started droning.
How long have you been droning, Trevor, please?
Oh, I think you asked me this before. About 20 years ago, as the manager of Maplin Electronics, and so that's when I first got into drones with my first Phantom, and they've come on an awful lot since then. And funnily enough, John, what I was just thinking is, I'm surprised that more drone pilots don't fall down manholes and have leg injuries, because we're too busy looking up into the air for places that we can fly, and you're not actually looking where you're walking.
The thing is, mate, I'm too old. I'm too old to walk around. So I get seized. So if I'm on the Avata, I have to sit down. I know people stand there and do that, whatever. I just can't do it. So either lean against the wall or lean against a rock now. So I'm not one of these walkers, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Albion Drones has just said parking and fuel. Yeah, fuel as well.
I know I got a parking ticket, but I have a win-win situation, because I got a company car and I get charged 11p per mile if I use any private miles. So that's quite handy. We just sent about places that we wouldn't think of flying. As everybody knows, I'm Paddy, Northern Irish. So I grew up in the Troubles at home, and we have a castle, and it's called O'Neill's Castle. And all it is two of the spires basically that are left, or turrets. But basically, as kids growing up, we never got to see it because it was all fenced off, because it was the highest point in part of where we lived. So the army camp was built there, and they could see for miles. We lived in Dungannon, and you could see parts of Belfast and everything. That's how clear it was. But a few years ago, I went home, so I did, and I had my drone. And someone told me that the castle grounds are all opened up, and I went up there with my drone, and I'm thinking, it's like we said, we never bothered with history before until we got these drones, and now we appreciate more all the stuff we've seen. But you got a lot of castles and a lot of massive what do you call it, Highclere Castle. You got stuff like that down up in your area as well.
Yeah, there's just so much everywhere. You know, you can even go to like small towns, even places like Barnsley and Brighouse, which probably you guys down there maybe not have heard of, but honestly, just there's so many stones unturned that we all need to go and discover, definitely. And like you said, Tony, about the history as well, we're just all becoming interested in the history, because we don't just fly it and then walk away. We look into it and find out a little bit more about it. And it's just one big education and a fantastic hobby for people to get into.
Yeah, because you're very...
I got something for you today. Sorry, cut across you, Tony. Today at the army barracks and the lighthouse on this peninsula, this little old lady had walked all the way there, right? Bear in mind, it's 6 miles there and back, yeah? She must have been 80 something, yeah, right? And I was flying, I had the goggles on, like that, yeah, so I couldn't see her. And she was going, oh, did you know that back in World War II, and I had a history lesson, okay, yeah, so I didn't say to her, don't leave me alone, so, but she was there, just sat next to me going, well, so-and-so came in, and Albert did this, and see that building over there? I'm going, yes. It's brilliant. And honestly, I actually learn quite a bit from what she was saying and what it was used for. But oh, bless her, the old lady. But it's I remember the Royal Navy. If I had a drone back then, the places I went to, bloody hell. So
been out of this world.
Yeah. So you've got all the drones now. Is there? I know you've got the Neo, the Flip, Mini 3. What else have you got?
Yeah. So I've got the Mini 3 Pro as well. To be honest with you, it's weird because you think, oh, we only own drones, and I've ended up buying all sorts of cameras, mics, lights, everything, you know, and it just expands and expands. I just wish I'd discovered videography decades ago. I really, really do, because I think that would have been my niche. I think I'd have really enjoyed it. But I skipped the Mini 4 Pro because I tend to fly 99% of the time without the sensors on. So that was the major benefit. I know the camera's slightly better, but that was the major benefit of upgrading. So I'm kind of hoping out for the Mini 5 Pro to see what that's like. But I've been looking at larger drones as well. Yeah, absolutely. And
have you heard anything? Have you any gossip? Have you heard anything?
No.
It's all the usual stuff where they've got the robotic voices online, and you know, they've got the header card which makes you click it, and they're all just guessing, just like they do on all the Apple launches and things like that. And I think just closer to the time we'll realize when the real leaked photos, like they did with the Flip, you could tell they were genuine photos, and yeah, they were covered up a little bit, but you got a generic idea about it. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to start looking at the Avata or the next gen, because now that I've sampled it with the Neo, the FPV, and I'm still practicing with that, I think I'd like to do a bit more of that. I mean, you've had some fantastic videos on here with FPV, and it's a different ball game altogether, isn't it?
Yeah, Jimmy. Oh, I've stood beside Jimmy, so I have Jimmy when he flies at his FPVs. He's just that noise. It's just like a plane taking off. You just stand there. I'm mesmerized by the noise. Whereas years ago I couldn't stand stuff like that. Now I'm blooming addicted to it all. But
Trevor, so one quick question, mate. If you were taken away now onto a desert island, and you only take one of your drones with you, which one would it be?
One that I've currently got.
Of the ones you've got at the moment, if you went to a desert island now, you only take one. What's your go-to one to go? That would, you know, that's my workhorse. That'll take me. It'll give me what I need.
The Mini 3 Pro, I have totally and utterly had my money's worth out of that drone. It's been a really good workhorse. It's never once let me down. Yes, there's been the occasional software glitch when they've done an update and everything else, but yeah, never ever once let me down. It's been fantastic. Look, that's been an amazing drone. So that Mini 5 Pro has got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, well, I've got the 4, and I agree with you. If I had a choice now, I'd take the 4. I've done that 4 now. That was my first ever drone, and it's been my workhorse from day one. I've loved it. It's never ever let me down.
I have A2 CFC, so I've just taken full advantage of my Mavic 3. I love my Mavic 3. Yes, I'll put the Mini 3 up, but I just trust the Mavic 3 more than the Mini. It's not that I don't trust it. I just love flying the Mavic 3.
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, I did a video with the mountain rescue team, and I had it was a one hit video where they was doing a fake rescue, and the weather was the worst I have ever gone out in, but it was in the middle of nowhere. So the worst that was ever going to happen, it was just going to land in the tall grass. And I had everybody were there with all the rescue teams and the vehicles and everything else. And I think the the winds were something like 30, 35 miles per hour gusts and things, and it was pouring it down as well. So it seems waterproof, my drone, because I just wiped it down and it was fine. Never ever had any of the issues with the fogging of the lens that you sometimes see. Yeah, honestly, it's been such a good drone.
I had that once with the Mini 3.
I do agree with you. The Maverick is good, by the way. The Maverick today was brilliant with what I was trying to do. I was hovering over the actual channel between the Isle of Wight and Bournemouth. I mean, you'll see the footage later. And I had no worries. I sat there going, it ain't going to go nowhere. It ain't going to move. And it's rock solid. But the question is, though, well, what is your go-to drone? What do you take with you? What's in your bag if you're on your own? And I do agree with you. Those 3s and 4s are just
amazing.
Trevor, have you tried the Avatar? Have you flown it with anybody? Have you had an opportunity?
No, not yet. I am going to get into that, and I am going to get a larger drone and do my A2 this year, very early on this year, Tone, and then I'll get a bigger one. But I know what I'll end up doing. It'll end up just doing exactly what the smaller drones can do for pretty much most of the time. You know, if I was going to go out in worse weather, I probably wouldn't go out. So, you know, even with the bigger drones. So I don't know. I want to use all the drones. You know, if I'm going to have something, I don't want them just sat behind me on a wall like you see on some YouTube videos, and they just got them all
you mean like
up.
people that have them behind them and don't actually fly drones?
Yeah.
That's a different story.
Yeah. Well, I know eventually we'll do that. You know, we want to let go of the older ones, you know, when we're on the Mini 10 or something. But yeah, I think you've got to enjoy them. I think I'd rather do them as a giveaway on the channel and other people enjoy them rather than just be racked on a wall behind me.
Do you know what I've noticed? The biggest difference between the Maverick and the Pro 3, Pro 4, etc. And this is just my observation. I don't know what else has thought about this, but whenever I'm out with Tony and we do the Maverick or the Pro 4, whatever, and we do like a time lapse or where you need stability high up at 120 meter, okay, yeah. When you look at the footage, and Tony's right, you look at the footage with the Maverick, it is rock. It ain't moving. Doesn't move.
35, 40 mile an hour winds and it sits
when I did Salisbury Cathedral with the Pro 4, yeah, it's okay. It was brilliant. It's okay with the sunrise, but you could see it wasn't holding its own as much as the Maverick just didn't move. It's solid. So that for that. So now you see, I'm choosing which one to use depending on what I'm filming for. So not knocking the Pro 4, but for me, and else things, but for me, the Maverick is solid as a rock.
Have you got the Pocket 3 yet, Trevor?
No, I had the Pocket 2, and I'm skipping a generation. I was a bit weary of that flip screen for longevity. You know, it just looks a bit. I don't know, because obviously over the test of time, you guys will know. But I did buy the Panasonic S5 2X as my main camera, which is one of the larger ones with a larger gimbal. You see, so for the higher end stuff, I use that because it's a 6K camera. But I absolutely love my Pocket 2. But I'm just starting to feel now like when they bring out.
Oh, he's buffering.
Oh, buffering. Hello.
Earth to Trevor.
3, 2, 1. Back in the room.
50p for the meter. Trevor, do you want to borrow 50p for the meter?
Yes. If the lights go out.
Yeah. I mean, the Pocket 3 is actually awesome for what it does. I mean,
it is a good camera, yeah.
Yeah, the functionality and features it's got on the tripod. I mean, I got the vloggers one with all the microphones and that sort of thing. So when I'm using that in my other business, it's just superb. And today I had it on a rock, doing a variety of things, just filming a few tidal things, whatever. But
somebody flew a Maverick. Somebody flew an Avatar at me the other day at 40 mile an hour, and I was there with my Pocket 3, and the footage that thing. No, I'm not worried about that bit because I wouldn't have moved anyway. But the footage that Pocket 3 got, it come along, and when you go like that, it's just so smooth. So it is, even with that thing moving at 40 mile an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, but, it's amazing how much content you can create just with, like you say, Pocket 2, Pocket 3, and a mini drone. Just those 2 items alone, and ideally a microphone as well, you know. But it's amazing what you can do with that. Just fits in a backpack.
I also think that people are being very wise now that when they're doing a video. So, for example, let's take example of today. I went to Christchurch Priory, which is not a church or a cathedral. It's in between, quite a big one. All right. And I spoke to the guy that on the gate. I said, "Look, this is what I'm going to do. I know you can't stop me, but I'm going to be nice." And he goes, "Okay, fine. If you want to, go inside and film as well. We've got a funeral at 11, but you're here at 10. As long as you're out by 10:30. So I did all the filming. I walked in, got the Pocket 3 out, did all that sort of thing. So now I can blend out and in and that sort of thing. I think with these types of shows and with people getting more wise, whatever, they're realizing that they're not just going to take a drone content. They're going to go, well, can I take a Pocket 3? Can I do this? Can I do, what's the other one you got, Tony? The little hand one, the other one you had? You had a GoPro, that sort of thing, yeah. Yeah, so you can use different devices, and you can blend it in different ways and take different angles. I think people are learning, they're watching, and I think that one of the things that we've seen over the last sort of 18 months, 2 years, is that there's been such an improvement on the general knowledge, and I think obviously the drones exploded, and there's more and more people doing it now. But I think there's more and more people now actually thinking about what they're going to do.
It's funny because when we went, we did a drone meetup, me, Jackie, Liam, and Dave last year, and we went to one of the abbeys that we have near us. Can't remember the name of it, but she was putting little GoPros up all over the place. And I think, what are you doing? And then I realized, because after I seen the footage that she got, I'm thinking, I want something like that. But I nearly stood on one of them because all I could hear was a shout, "Tony, watch where you're walking." What do you mean? There's a camera at your foot, Tony. But that's more.
It's high there for him.
Shut up, you.
Trevor, I was going to ask you, mate, what sort of projects you got lined up for the year? Anything you can talk about?
Well, funnily enough, yes, I do have some projects. Well, first of all, there's going to be a big channel announcement very, very soon in the next couple of weeks, like really big.
Your channel, your announcement
on my own channel, yeah. But
please tell me you're not going live on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock.
I am not going live on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock unless you ask me to come on as a guest.
That will happen.
That's okay. So I'm gonna give a name to you, okay, and it's gonna mean nothing to you because they're a friend of mine, and they are called Nadio Granata. And you're thinking, who's Nadio Granata? And he's been working on AI for drones, and he writes AI for lots of different things. But in particular, one of his got himself interested, and we've sort of teed up together, and we're going to be putting a project together. But I'm going to put in the links to pure written by Nadio drone AI projects, and I'd like everybody to use them and have a go and give the feedback on one of your shows, because we all use Drone Buddy, and there's lots of different apps when you arrive just to check that there's no flight zones and things like that. Well, these chat GPTs are literally your own personal assistant, so you've got your own person with you, and you can literally say where you are, you wanting to fly a whatever drone, and this thing will literally tell you anything you ask of it. Absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to put there's two of them that is done. One of them's for in fact, I'll read it out to you. Sorry if you're going to get bored with this, but so here we go.
Fine, mate.
So let me just pull it up, and here we go. It's definitely live because I'm trying to find
If also when we finish, if you send me the link later on, I'll add it to the description and the videos.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'll send them to you, and then you can put them on. So one of them is helpful for like weather and all the other stuff like that to do with, should you fly, do I need to contact local towers and stuff like that. But the other one is for, as an example, let's have a look. So the breakdown is it's going to be an all-in-one assistant for drone regulations, airspace rules, flight planning, risk assessment, troubleshooting, maintenance, advice, anything at all that's going wrong. You can literally talk to it. I'll tell you what to do. And the Nadio's put so much work into this to make it fantastic. And he's wanting other drone users to give their feedback so he can improve it. And it's a free to use, and I think it's a real big tool for us all. And I know the drones are using AI more and more with the cameras and the following and other things like that, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. But same with our phones, we use an app, but wouldn't it be great to perhaps try out something like this? But the other one's more to do with the artistic side of it. But I'll put them both on, and it'll be interesting just to see, because it'll tell us how to do like storytelling and filmmaking strategies and even composition, lighting. So again, two sides of it. So how you can create content as a drone pilot or a video content creator, and then also as a pilot yourself, because you might not always have someone with you that's got better knowledge than you, so I just think it's a really good thing.
What does Doc Call use? Because Doc Call uses something to do not his narrating, he uses something else.
There's so many out there, but I just think that this is going somewhere, and you're going to start seeing that name a lot more. So I'll put it in the comments now.
Is the app that you're talking about, does it have the ability for memory, as in what you spoke about last week, or where you flew 2 weeks before then? Or do you have to start from the beginning every single time?
I need one of them for general life.
Yeah,
so this is one of them. That's the first one. I've just put it in the group for everybody. And then I'll put the second one. And this is the second one. So that's the drone art one. But the first one, I think, is going to be a big game changer. And it'd be interesting to see everybody's feedback, because it'll only learn from us all, and it needs drone users to input data, and it learns from us all and gets better and better and better. Apparently Nadia is going to be able to write it so that it knows you and where you fly, and they can perhaps get it more personal. So with regards to your question, John, I think the answer is going to be yes, because how can it possibly learn us? And then, so yeah, this is some big stuff, this, and you're the first people that I've shared it with. So I thought this is the place to do it.
If anybody's watching this on catch up, all you do is go into the comments.
Other sources available.
Flick to the left, the live chat comes up, so they'll be able to see those links and be able to actually click on them. Because I know a lot of people watch this.
Make sure you click on all the chat, not just highlighted chat. But yeah, I use AI quite a bit in my other media business, and I actually sat in my other AI software that I have, and I wrote a risk assessment for flying drones in a cathedral. And again, as you know, the more you give it, the more information, the more parameters you give it, the more structure you give it, and the thought process of go and get information, it actually is bloody good. And I got this thing, I wrote, give it all these commands, press done, it came out, it was like perfect. So I was like, so AI is the way forward, but the problem you've got is that when I read through,
Mickey Moo's got a question.
Does it cost anything? No, it's free, he says.
That's even better.
Just Mickey Moo. Mickey Moo's, it'll do out for free, won't I? I don't know. It is free, Mickey. Don't worry about it. I would not be peddling goods on here. That's these two's job.
We don't peddle anything.
No, but you need some funding to pay for that parking ticket.
That's already paid for. My bonus will pay for that.
The wording, we have reason to believe that you were parked in our grounds. With no evidence, no proof, no photograph.
Yeah, but the problem is I work for a company that
I'm pulling your leg, mate.
Straight down the line, they will pay it. Take it out of my
straight
wages.
away, don't they? Unfortunately, they don't even query it, and then you have to pay it. Unfortunately,
but I don't care, because, as I say, I only pay 11p a mile, so it's not gonna break the bank. Someone's asking you a question there, Trevor.
What's to say, Trevor? We're going to do a paranormal weekend in a graveyard soon. We will need you and the drone. Oh, there's some spooky goings on there.
I think that might be something to do with those spooky videos you've got on your channel.
Yeah. That wasn't it?
No, that was the flip. The spooky one was the flip.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you got some spooky. There's some other spooky videos on your actual channel.
Is there?
I hope so, unless I was looking at the wrong channel. Don't answer that, John.
Funny things about
No, you got loads of stuff.
Go back to Trevor again. So we talked about projects in the future. We talked about the Chat GPT AI. What else you got coming down the line? That's why you're on the show. We're invited here to talk to you about you.
I know. One of the things I can't announce till I've done it, because then it will make sense. And it's only I'm filming it next Thursday, so then you'll see it the following Wednesday. So you don't have long to wait for that one.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a big change, and it's for the positive. It's good.
Oh, that's all right.
But no, I'm going to be going out and filming everywhere, any chance I can now, because the weather's turning, isn't it? It's getting better. I've got another music video to do for a rap music artist, Scott Binns. So I've got that to do. So that'll be my third one for him. And yeah, it's funny because he got in touch with me when he saw my drone video. So it's amazing where having this hobby can end up doing the different things that you'd never expect yourself doing. I never thought a drone and Beastie Boys would be mixed together, but they are.
Hang on a minute. For those that don't know who are the Beastie Boys, they're from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
Beastie Boys. I was still at school. I don't know.
I think Tony liked Morris Minor and the Majors, didn't you, Tony?
Who?
Morris Minor and the Majors.
No, Shwaddy Waddy.
Shwaddy Waddy. Oh, my
Shwaddy
God.
Green Door.
Nice.
Through the green door.
Shwaddy Waddy didn't sing Green Door.
Good, actually.
No. I was going to ask a question and he popped. Ah, that's it. So we've asked what drone you would take with you. What is your favorite subject to fly?
Ooh, that's a good one, isn't it? Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my videos, I try not to. I know John was talking about how stable the larger drones are. I tend to do a lot of footage much lower down, which is probably a bit more beneficial to the mini drones. Yeah. And right now, I've got a bit of a fetish for flying indoors. I really, really, really do enjoy that. I've done all the Bradford theatres, and I've done all the Bradford museums, and that footage is going live for them. The theatres, those videos are already live on their websites, but the museums, that is going live soon when they've updated their website. And I thoroughly enjoy flying indoors, as you've probably seen on some of my previous videos where I've done the outside and I thought I want to fly inside.
Yeah.
And so I've done it.
Question for you, mate. Question for you. What drone do you use indoors? What's your favourite? Because I went to do the Wells Cathedral. I took 4 drones, right, and only the Maverick 3 worked. The other ones, because it's very dark out, by the way, so it's not spare. In the cathedral, the lights weren't working properly. So the Neo and the Avata just it went. I'm not going. I'm not moving.
Yeah, they don't like it.
The Pro 4 was just going around like, what am I doing? But the Maverick was stable as hell. So what do you use? But is there dependency on light, or because you can't get satellites?
Okay.
Isn't the rule of point to switch the drone on outside first, lock onto all your satellites, then bring it indours?
No, it doesn't work. You've just literally the nearest experience I can.
Satellite, sometimes it returns to home again. It's trying to go back out the door again.
The nearest experience I can explain it is, Tony, that if you're flying indoors, it's probably the nearest equivalent. If you were safe, I used in answer to your question, John, I used the Mini 3 Pro with prop guards. And it's probably the nearest experience to flying a Mini 3 Pro as it is to an Avata in manual mode. That's the nearest experience I can explain it, because you do have a little bit of drift, so you are fully in control. Even the Mini 3 Pro didn't like the dark base of the stage, as an example, in the theatres, and it took a few attempts to get it off the ground before I realised it's the chalkboard flooring that it didn't like, because the ground sensors, pointing downwards, weren't happy looking at pitch dark. So
that is so true. And actually, what you just said there resonates, because when I was flying through the cathedral, when I was flying over cloth or silver or whatever, or it was. I mean, at one point I went into the main choir area where you had all the gold organ, whatever, and it went up, and it started going. I know where I'm going here, because obviously it had reflections and so on. So. Yeah, so okay. Well, you said Pro 3 was good then.
Yeah, that's what I used, and obviously, if the next gen one, I will use that. I may try it with the Flip, but I don't know how good that'll be in low light. But the Neo is a no-go. It does not like dark light at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, you're right there, mate.
No.
Do you know? I've just realised all the time I've been flying, I've yet to fly indoors.
Oh, it's worth it, Tony. Honestly, it's a different. It's like learning to fly again, but the finished results are just as though you've just done some polished movie for Hollywood, because it's that stable indoors that they'd normally use a train track and dollies and all sorts of stuff with the cameras, and you can just glide in the same fashion, but just in the air, obviously.
But the concentration though is so great, because
yes,
you've got so many things around you. It's like, and because you know you're flying, there's no wind, you can control it. You just take your time. There's no rush. You can never rush indoors. Never rush.
As one of the main questions on here, everybody always asks each other, what do you use to edit?
Yeah, I was going to actually ask that. I think it'd be really good if everybody put that in the comments about what software we all use, because we've all learned how to fly drones, and then we're learning videography, then we're learning audio and how to best do that, and then we all get all that footage home, and then it's like, oh, what do we do now? You can have the best camera, best drone in the world, and it's like, if you don't know what to do with it, you might as well have just used something like a Neo or an entry model. So I use LumaFusion. I do have others installed, like the main three that you see, but I've had a dabble with those. But at the moment, I'm using LumaFusion, and then perhaps if later down the line I start to do more effects, I might then take that project as far as I can take it with LumaFusion, and then put it into something a little bit more advanced. But that's what I've used since day one.
Trevor, when you say when I start adding more effects, give me some examples.
For example, like as you get more adventures, like that video I did with the gasworks where I'm stood in front of the thing. If I decided to add some daft effect to something, like if you was being struck by lightning, I'm not on about like the drone stuff. I mean, you can put overlays like LUTs and things like that. But if you wanted to be more adventurous, where you was like flying past a tree, and then the next scene you're at the other side of the trunk and it's somewhere completely different, like a waterfall from where you were in the city. That type of effect, if you can't do it with your existing software, if you edit it as far as you can take it, and then take the whole project you've only got one thing to learn on that new piece of software, and it's far easier to do it that way than learn everything from scratch again. That's what I was trying to get at, John.
Do you know, I found
I'd ask, is there anything in your head that you think, well, I've got this far now, what I need is this, this, and this, because I've always step by step, bit by bit, whatever. I mean, I use Premiere Pro, and obviously, as you imagine, Premiere Pro. If I've got a question, I don't ask nobody apart from Google. All right, I go on Google. How do I? And I get video of bloke show me step by step. There we go.
I don't need Google. I'm married.
I
don't need Google. I'm married.
You're seeing the comments here, Da Vinci, Filmora. So it's. I mean, I would say that from the conversations I've had with a lot of people, a lot of them.
I got a question for you then. Have you checked out the DJI app recently?
Which one?
Fly. So I use the Mimo, M-I-M-O.
All right,
Don't say it like that. You haven't looked at it, so don't say none. But it's now got one-click button where if you're doing D-Log, it will do the whole lot for you. One click. And there's so much more on it than what used to be. So
I totally agree with you, and it's good. And a lot of people do use it. I actually want to do it myself. I want to learn myself and be able to do it myself. And I actually
but I want to do. I want to do the editing in the back of the car on the way home.
I know you do. You want to fly, bang, edit, TikTok, YouTube in 5 minutes. I get that. I like editing. I have this vision. I get the music and whatever, and try and get things in the beat and this sort of thing. It doesn't always work that way, but I actually enjoy editing and changing it and doing this. I feel I think it's part of the journey, part of the learning curve. And then go, well, I've done that now I want to do this level. I want to try and change this. I mean, if you look at, for example, perfect example of where I want to be by the end of the year. Jackie, who's just unfortunately left because she's busy. But if you look at Jackie's videos, then she'll have a Formula One screen, and she'll have like it's always little animations and bits that she does that sometimes you don't realise until you've watched it 2 or 3 times that what she's done to it. So that's where I'm at. Is that I want to start learning that.
I like the stuff that Jackie puts in the background. You'll see Backpack Jack or Harvey Wallbanger or something. You're thinking, how the hell does she get them in there? I've got another question for you, Trevor, please. I know we all use YouTube. What else do you stream to? What else do you use?
I've been trying a little bit on TikTok. It's just started, and I do quite a bit on Facebook groups to do with drones and things to share it, because there's people all over the world that might not have seen any of our videos on YouTube. I mean, I suppose we're all only 1 or 2 clicks away, but if you're not found, it's just like a website, I suppose, you know, and YouTube channels people don't tend to Google for. So I think just any way you can, really. So yeah, I've tried Instagram, TikTok, but not in a big way. I've tried X, but you never seem to get any form of comments back. So those are the main ones that I use anyway. Again, still learning. Everything's new. You know, there's teenagers out there that Instagram everything to death, and they can do it upside down, you know, inside out. And again, you know, we've all gone from buying a drone and what do I do now and learning from scratch like John. I spend more time trying to find the right music before I start to edit. I find the music for the place that goes, and then I find it far easier to edit, you know, whichever editing. Yeah.
Where do you excuse me, where do you go for your music?
Well, if you look on all my videos, I always share where I've found the music, and I know a lot of people subscribe, but there is actually some websites out there that you can actually get where there is royalty-free music, providing you give them a nudge or a link to them and things like that. So my main source, which if everybody wants to make a note, is Pixabay.
Oh, I know them. Yeah.
Pixabay. Pixabay. And I'm nearly 3 years coming into my channel, and I've still found new content on there and something that I can work with. And eventually, maybe I need to use one of these, you know, Epidemic Sound subscriptions or something like that. But Pixabay has been fantastic.
I've just set you up a question here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this, but I've set you up a little bit. All right. If we rewind, okay, to your ChatGPT AI, all right. Now, a lot of guys on here go to AI and create their music. Surely, your guy can write a program with interfaces with these music companies and actually integrate the right music to, or help advise it through that thing. Is that something you've talked about or will be providing?
Well, believe it or not, Nadia is going to be watching this, and if he's not on now, sorry, just not the camera then. If he's not on now, he will be watching it, and we're going to be discussing everything that everybody's said and their input. And it'd be great on a future show for everybody to feed back how they found it, because again, you can take that away and make it improve further. So further down the line, it's just going to get an easier hobby for us all as red tape increases. And you know, from one end, it's going to get harder and harder. And then if we can sort of I'm trying to get my hands in the right place, combat it so that it's easier to do, and then it's winner, isn't it?
I know we're short on time. Can we touch on that from your opinion, about red tape, where we're going?
Pixabay is free Britain from above. Sorry, John.
No, that's okay, mate. Where do you see the draconian, some of the laws and stuff that's changing, and red tape, and where in your opinion, or what you've seen, where do you see it going over the next sort of 18 months, where we're going to be locked down and we can't do certain things? What's your view?
Look at, again, going back to when the Phantoms first came out, I think we're still I think that the whole industry has moved that fast that the powers that be have not caught up yet. If you watch videos online, I know there's auditors and other things like that, but the amount of the police and enforcement and everything else, they're so uneducated. And I'm not saying I condone all these videos and everything, but they do need some form of training, because there's a lot of wasted resource when you've clearly followed all the rules. You've got it on your drone, you've got all your flyer ID, and everything else. But I think it's going to get stricter and stricter. But again, it won't be a massive thing. It'll be part of that annual registration process, and maybe it will become a form of basic license and then go up a notch as you go up the the chain of drones, you know, but it is going to get stricter. But I think the more that we can understand what's coming, then we can prepare for it. And that's why I've put that in the comments below with the chat GBT, because if we can arrive on site, yeah, you might do some homework, but you might find something unexpected that you didn't sort of try and prepare for, that yeah, you've got something to hand. Whereas like bylaws, for example, that is probably one of the biggest. I bet many of us have probably broken a bylaw without, and you can go on the websites. Yeah, and you would never know, and even the police don't know, and nobody knows, and they just say, "Oh, there's a bylaw," and they don't even know if there's a bylaw. It's just a word that they're just blurting out.
It's funny you should say that. So, Wembley, I have flown down Wembley Way at 3 o'clock in the morning in May last year. We all dislike auditors. One of the auditors went there, but he didn't go. He went in the evening time, and it was rammed. When I went, there was only me and the seagulls flying around McDonald's. But I flew down Wembley Way, straight down there, up, back, did everything. And then I went to there's another spot where you can go, where you can fly around the stadium. You see you've 100% visual of the drone. But so I did that in May last year. And one of these auditors went to it. And yes, he went in the evening time because he wanted sunset. And he had about 8 security guards around him. And he didn't know that there's now a bylaw, and they put the bylaw in August. Whereas I was legal in May. His drone wouldn't even take off. He was standing on a public footpath, and his drone wouldn't take off. So, but if you go around the stadium to the other part, your drone will take off, and you can still do the full loop around the top of the stadium. But that, again, that's your bylaws. One person will know, another person doesn't. And I didn't know until August, or when I seen these videos, I thought, well, they didn't have a bylaw in there in May, because when I went looking for restrictions, I couldn't find anything.
To me, you see, there's all these bylaws. Someone said to me recently about National Trust are working heavily with a variety of authorities to put their bylaws in place on all their sites. And you have to pay this, you've got to do this. So the problem we've got is that, I mean, I know people laugh about auditors and this sort of thing. They're causing us, they do cause us trouble. Let's not lie about that. I mean, people, I got approached by 10, 12 people today. They were lovely. I handed out my little card, and by the time I got home tonight, I had 6, 7 new subscribers. But, you know, the way you talk to people, if you talk to them nicely, they're normally nice back to you. But the guys from auditors, they get 175,000 views on their YouTube videos, which net them about $5,000 a video. Yeah. So they're out there on purpose, agitating, winding people up to try and get it. So what I don't know is, where do we see all these reports? Because when you use Angel apps and all your drone secure, that sort of thing, they're not on there, are they? They don't. No. So that one at Wembley, where is that listed that we can see on those apps?
On the council. It's now on the council, council website.
We say to everyone, go to the app. If it's clear on the app, you're clear to fly. Well, clearly you're not now.
No.
Yeah. Again, going back to that AI, won't it be fantastic if it can search locally if there is a bylaw? So again, if Nadia's watching this, if that's something that he's able to incorporate, it'll just make life a lot easier, and then you can at least confidently, as highly reasonable as possible, you've tried to go through every bit to make sure that you're flying legal.
I guess you've got to be careful. Are they actually specific legally bylaws, or not a memo that's written by Sandra?
Yeah, there is that. Yeah.
No, Sandra says you can't fly. Who's Sandra? I mean, some places you go to.
She's a sister of Karen.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
I've not really had many Karens or Kens, to be honest with you. I've been really. I know some of the viewers, they've had a few.
I only get him when he's out with me.
It's funny you should say that. No. In 4 years of flying, I've only had 2, and guess who was with me on both those Karens? Him. He attracts them. No, it's not me. I don't. No, because I'm the politest person in the world until they wind me up and tell me I can't do this or I can't do that, and then they see the other side of me, which is not a very nice sight to see, is it, John?
Oh no, he's potty mouth. He's terrible. They turn around and off.
No, when I've done my homework and I know that I'm 100% and I'm not there
He's
to
there.
annoy anybody.
Nescafe, 3 beans. 3 beans.
Mickey Moo.
I've
Tony
seen
the
that.
Karen Magnet. Yeah, I thought he was going to say a babe magnet, but that's a bit too old, but long time ago for that. Anyway, you won't believe it, but that is 1 hour gone.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Where the hell did that time go?
I've just had one last idea. That video of me running.
Before you say that idea, we'll have to get you back because we've spoken about specific things about ChatGPT, AI, and a few other bits and bobs. So we probably have to try and get you back and see how things have progressed on and where we are on that.
Yeah, absolutely. But one last thing. I was just thinking that video of me running away. I think the next time we get a Karen, we should actually film the Karen and then do that said run away.
Get a little nail out. Follow her.
Yeah. Or my little video where you see me walking towards Doodledore and I disappear off into this. I can't pronounce it. Doodledore, whatever it's. The arch. The dinosaur drinking out of the water. But you see me disappearing off into the sunset. But anyway,
have you flown at Doodle Door, Trevor?
I can't even say it and I can't even spell it, so no.
Oh, I can spell it. I just can't pronounce it. And you know the worst part of it is, if I can't spell something, I'll talk to Google. And Liz, my wife, said, "What are you talking about?" I says, "I'm getting Google to," and Google can't even recognize Doodledore or Dordledore, whatever it is. It comes up with all sorts of stuff, but not the dirty stuff. Anyway, we're going to go, Trevor. Thank you so much for joining us, but we definitely have to do this again. Get you back. What did you call the chap?
ChatGPT.
Nadio Granata.
We'll have to
He's
have
got a cool name. He's got a cool name, hasn't he? Nadio.
We'll have to have him and you on one of the shows. That would be better because then he can explain it a lot. I'm not saying you didn't explain it, but
he would be better at explaining it.
Maybe screen sharing, and so maybe screen sharing, but also a live. Say, hi, here you are. Let's go through a live. You'll get a lot of people watching that. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that would be a good idea. I might be able to arrange that. So
yeah, we can definitely arrange that. But seriously, thank you for tonight. Really enjoyed it. I'm glad you come in and join us on a Friday night. I'm sorry I couldn't share the videos because for some reason the buffering. So we had a conversation earlier on. I can't work it out, but we can sit here and chat drones all night. We're going to go. We will see everybody on Wednesday night, and I'm going to leave you with a little teaser. What's coming up?
You are so beautiful.